Happy Wednesday, friends. We are here on a Wednesday again this week. Thank you for joining me, whether that is live or later. Please say hi in the comments and let me know you're watching. I would love to know that you're here. Usually I go live on Thursdays at 12 o'clock p.m. Arizona time. Lately it's been Wednesdays, and I don't know. Leave me a comment and let me know what you think of me switching it permanently to Wednesdays. I think I may end up doing that. I do a weekly video for my team on Wednesday mornings, and at first I thought it might be good to spread it out over the 2 days, not try and fit it all into one, but now I'm thinking it might be nice to do both on the same day and then have a day where I don't have to do a video. If you don't know, my husband works in his office on Wednesday and Thursdays, and so those are my days to get stamping things done. So thank you for joining me today. We are going to be making some really fun cards with the Meant to Be bundle. This was one that was put out in our scrapbooking brochure, and it is meant more for scrapbooking, but you can also make some really cute cards with it, which is what we're going to do today. A couple of things before we get started. So I'm on Wednesday again this week. The next few weeks are going to be kind of iffy. Next week, my in-laws are arriving on Wednesday, and they'll be here for 2 weeks. And it's my kids' spring break the week after that. And I was thinking they arrive late enough in the day on Wednesday, I'll just do my live on Wednesday again next week. But my daughter has a field trip to the zoo, and I am going to go with her on Wednesday, so I won't be home all day. So next week and the week after, my kids will be home on spring break. I am going to work really hard to record videos for you for the next 2 weeks, but I am not making any promises because, to be honest, I am juggling a lot of things right now. And I just don't know if I will have time to do that. I really want to. But there are a lot of other things I need to get done also. So just keep an eye on the page, and I will let you know if there is going to be a video or not. Otherwise, I will be back. I promise. Let's see what else. So I wanted to share this with everyone today, just in case I'm not able to come live the next or have videos the next 2 weeks. Stampin' Up! Announced yesterday to demonstrators that there are going to be some price increases with our next annual catalog. That goes live to customers at the beginning of May, and it's pretty typical for us to have price increases on a couple of things. But this year they're increasing the price of cardstock, and it is kind of steep. So I wanted to let you know, because if you like our cardstock and you use it a lot, you may want to stock up at the current price. The current price for our colored cardstock, you get 24 sheets for $11.50. It is going up to $14, so a $2.50 per package increase is quite a bit. I feel like we just increased it to last year or the year before. You know, it's a part of life. It's something we'll just have to accept and move on with. The quality of Stampin' Up's cardstock is awesome. I've used other cardstock, and I really think there's no comparison. The other thing they're doing is they're making all the packages the same. So right now in our white and vanilla cardstock packages, you get 40 sheets instead of 24. But they're changing those to be 24 sheets also, and they will be $14 as well. So that's actually an even bigger price hike because you are getting less sheets and it's going to cost more. I'm telling you this now because the last time our prices went up, I remember the white cardstock going out of stock for a while, like several weeks, I believe. And I know for me, that's a color I use all the time on my cards. I use white on pretty much every single card. And thankfully last time I had enough to get me through. But I am probably going to be placing an order in the next few days for a little bit of extra. The other thing that wasn't completely clear in the update is I believe they are discontinuing the thick basic white in the 8.5 by 11 size. There's been a lot of chatter in our demonstrator groups about this, and I hope they reverse their decision because I use that for card bases all the time, as you've probably seen in my videos. They are going to offer it in a 12 by 12 size, which does not make a whole lot of sense to me. But maybe it will be more clear once we get to see the catalog as demonstrators in a few weeks. So I just wanted to give you a little heads up. Price increases, I think, are a part of life right now, and that is just how it is. But I do think there's probably going to be a time when we are out of stock of some card stacks in the in-between time, and once everyone starts hearing about this, I think there's going to be a lot of people stocking up. So I wanted to make you aware and let you know in case that's something you want to do too. So today we're going to make 3 cards. Every week I offer the card kit for free with your purchase. So when you shop with me now through Tuesday the 11th, and you use the shopping link in the description of the video, I will send you the card kit for the 3 cards. If you spend more than $40 before tax and shipping, and then if you spend over $50, I double the cards, so you get to make 2 of each. So that is a lot of fun. Some of you know I am working towards the incentive trip, and I have not shared an update for a while, but I wanted to share one today. I am not where I would like to be at this point in our earning period. So our earning period is October 1st through September 30th. So we are almost halfway through the earning period, so I should be farther. I'm about $20 away from being a quarter of the way done. But I got to color a bunch of boxes recently because 2 of my team members promoted in their title, and that earned me 3,000 points, which was amazing. I love my awesome team members, and I am so appreciative of them. And I appreciate all of you who put in orders with me too, because every little bit helps. And I just have so much fun when I get to color in a box. So I'm still working towards it. One of these years I will get there. All right, we're going to flip down and take a look at the products we will be using today. I have lots to show you, and the cards are, like I said, a lot of fun. So let's see if we can get the camera situated here. Now, every week I do also send the cards that I make to 3 random people who comment. So while we are creating today, make sure you say hi and interact, and I will draw 3 winners. I usually do that on Mondays and send out the cards. And if I already have your address, I don't even tell you. It's a surprise. So that's kind of fun. All right. So this Meant to Be bundle was released as part of our last scrapbooking brochure. And the sentiments in here are a little bit larger. They are meant for scrapbooking. And then we have a couple of bees, a heart, a flower, the different faces. Excuse me. It's a really fun stamp set. But what sold me was it comes with a set of dies. Look at these dies, guys. There are, let's see, 5 sizes of hexagons. The cool thing about these hexagons is they cut out a solid hexagon, and they also cut out a narrow outline. On my cards that I'm going to show you today, I've used the first 2, the smallest ones, but these larger ones are awesome, I think, if you are a scrapbooker. These words say our hive, so again, that's more for scrapbooking, but word dies are always fun. We've got dies that cut out the bees and the wings and the antennas. So we have a bee builder punch. I'm going to show you the other bee stamp set and how it compares here in a second. And I thought the punch was great, but once I started using the dies, I love them. I don't know that I'll go back. I mean, I will go back to the punch because I love the hearts that are in the punch. I love that the bee shape can be a speech bubble, and punches are just great. But when you're creating the bees and you can get this detailed wing die, I think it's just awesome. I love the little heart too, and the flowers we'll use on one of our cards today too. So the dies are great. This is the other bee stamp set that came out, maybe it was last year, the year before. It's called Be My Valentine. We are going to use a few sentiments from this set today because they work better for cards. They are sized more for cards. It also has a bee. It has different flowers. This can be a solid image behind the wings, or it can be a heart. And then you've got the small heart and the antennas and some of these faces. Now, I will tell you, I played around with the dies and the stamps in this one too. And they're just different enough that they do not match up. So these two smiley faces right here. Now, I think this is shown at 85% and this is shown at 90%. So it's not exact. These are pretty similar, but not exactly the same. Same with these. If you look, like the eyes, the top part, this one faces down, that one faces up. So they're not exactly the same. They're just a little different. And I did try my dies on the antennas in this one. It's just different enough. They don't quite match up. Same with the little hearts, not quite the same. And the bees are not the same either. So let me show you this. I did a card, maybe you saw it earlier this week. These are the two sizes of bees in the Meant to Be stamp set, the scrapbooking one. So there's a large one and a smaller one. And then this is the bee that's in the Punch bundle, the Be My Valentine. So they're kind of meant to be like a daddy bee, a mommy bee, and a baby bee. Isn't that cute? They showed that to us on one of our demonstrator videos recently, and I thought it was a good comparison. So this also shows you how the dies cut out the wings and the antennas. And this one, the Punch, cuts out the wings and the antennas. It's cute, right? But look how much cuter that is. And you don't have to fussy cut it. So I think there are benefits to having both stamp sets, both bundles. And they're just a lot of fun to mix and match together. And then, of course, we've used this recently, the Bee Builder Punch. It can be used to punch out the bee and the wings and the antenna from the Be My Valentine set. Or you can use it, we used it as a speech bubble last week. And I know I've used the hearts too. So both options, great to have. And if you don't have them yet, I highly recommend them. Okay, let me see here. That's my husband texting me. He had a meeting. Usually I text him at lunchtime. And an hour ago he had a meeting. So now he's getting out of it. So he'll just have to be patient. All right. Our first card today is going to be this one that I shared on Monday. And this one, we're using some dies and stamps from the Meant to Be bundle. And then the sentiment comes from the Be My Valentine stamp set. And I see a few of you are here watching now, so welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you love these cards today because I have been having so much fun playing with this bundle. So our first card is a Petunia Pop card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5. And we will fold that in half. And then I have two pieces. Of course, we have to use the Cute as Can Be Designer Series paper again today. I hope you're not getting tired of this, but I love this paper and I've been using it a lot. So I have this piece that is 2 inches by 4 3/4. And then this piece is 1.5 by 3 3/4. And we are just going to layer those to our card base. I love this Designer Series paper. It is actually not often that I use an entire pack of paper up. I need to buy more, but I'm getting close on this one because I have used it for my card classes several times in the last month or so. All right, so we're just going to kind of layer those so you can see both. This is the smallest hexagon from the Meant to Be dies, and we're going to do it with the points up and down. You can also turn it like this if you want, but we're going to do it this way this time. And I'm just going to add this to my card with some dimensionals. I think this hexagon shape is kind of unique. We had hexagons a while back, but they were much smaller. I think that was a Punch. I'm going to try and center this on my card as much as I can. And then we have some stamping to do. So I have a piece of white in here. If you order and get the card kit, you'll get exactly what I dumped out of the envelope. And so you'll have a piece like this to do your stamping on. And if you decide not to get the Meant to Be bundle, you can of course use the other bee from the Be My Valentine. All right, we're using Daffodil Delight for the bee body because I think that is the best bee color. You could use Crushed Curry, or Lemon Lolly would be a little lighter, but you could use those if you want. So there is our bee body. Now, if you have a stamp positioning tool like our old Stamparatus, or what's the other one called? I don't remember. You might want to use it for the bee stripes because I find, at least with my ink pad, I like it better, like the coverage better if I ink and stamp twice. It's just darker and more filled in. Now, I've had pretty good luck with just stamping it a second time and getting it in the right spot. Just watch, though, on camera. It'll probably not work, but we'll do our best. Not too bad. Okay, so, I mean, with the photopolymer stamps, you can kind of line it up. All right, you can pick whatever face you want for your bee. The other cool thing about these bees, either this set or the Be My Valentine set, is you can make the bees face up like this, or you can make them go to either side. So that's kind of a fun thing that you can do. And then we're going to use the dies to cut all this out. So I'll stamp my antennas over there. Let's see, well, I have my black out. This Love You Sentiment is from the Be My Valentine stamp set, so that's the older one. And I have a Pool Party circle here that I cut with my Stylish Shapes dies. All right, we're going to put the black away. Now, you could use black for the wings. I'm going to use Pool Party, just like in the Designer Series paper. And we want wings for both sides of our bee because we have him facing up. So I want to stamp 2 sets of the wings here. Okay, now for the die cutting. So let me pull out the dies that we need here. So we've got the wings. We've got the antennas. We've got the bee. Now we just need our die cutting machine. So we'll pull that in. And we'll see if I can, there's only one wing here, so I can't get both wings at the same time. But let's see if I can get the other ones to all go at the same time. Sometimes it is kind of tricky because one will move and you don't want that. If you use washi tape or something, then of course it will work. I have sim tape. I just always forget to get it out. Okay, let's see if we can get all 3 of those to go at once without moving. I think the antenna moved a little bit, but it looks close enough. Let's hope it's close enough anyways. And then we'll send through our second set of wings. Oh, actually the antenna was pretty good. I'm glad I didn't mess with it. So the hexagons obviously won't fit in this mini machine, but all the other dies in this set will. And the smallest hexagon might fit. I can test it here, but definitely not the larger ones. There are some really cool ideas for scrapbook pages with those hexagon dies, and that other card I showed you where I kind of put a bunch of hexagons all together. You could do that on a scrapbook page too. I think they have a sample on the website where the hexagons just kind of go next to each other, and you could do some, you could cut out some of your pictures with the hexagons too, which would be really fun. Okay, I'm going to set these dies over here because we will use them again on another card. But now it's time to assemble our bee. And I think the easiest way to do that is to use the green glue.
even though you all know it's not my favorite, but just a little dot on the wings and on the antennas. Stick his antennas on, stick his wings on. There go the antennas. There we go. Isn't that super cute? I just cannot get over the die. It is awesome. Okay, that is probably still drying, but we're going to add him to our card with some dimensionals. And I like to put them over the wings just a little bit to kind of finish help holding them in place. And you can maybe do one on the end of the antenna too. That way everything will stick where it is supposed to. And we'll put the bee right in the center there. Our little sentiment we're going to add with dimensionals also. Kind of in the corner of the hexagon there. And then this Petunia Pop heart I cut with the Meant to Be dies. And we're just going to do a mini glue dot. You could use your glue also. Kind of like the bee is holding the heart. And then, let's see, I had an extra piece. I'm using the black and white, black and vanilla checked ribbon today. You can use whatever ribbon you want. The Petunia Pop ribbon would work well, or if you have a pool party ribbon, the iridescent ribbon. So pick a ribbon that you like, or you can add this one to your order. And I had an extra piece that was just big enough for my bow, so that's why it's tied ahead of time. Save us some time. And then the embellishment I'm using today is our iridescent faceted gems, but any sparkly thing will do. I just like how this kind of plays off the purples and the pinks and the blues in the paper. And I think these are pretty. These are some of my favorite embellishments. Now, we talked a little bit about our new annual catalog. It will be going live for customers at the beginning of May, but demonstrators get to see it in just a few weeks, and it's always fun at this time of year to kind of guess what is going to retire and what's going to stay around. I hope these embellishments stay around because they are one of my favorites. So that is our first card. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think these bees are adorable. And I'm going to put that away in an envelope for a lucky winner. Okay, moving on to our second card. This one is a fun fold. And this one I actually did use a sentiment from the Meant to Be bundle. It's fun because it opens up like this. And of course I had to do some stamping on the inside also. And this one I used those textured notes dies. These just released yesterday. In our online exclusives. They are part of a bundle and actually part of a suite that has been really popular. I ended up just getting the dies, and I forgot to bring them in here to show you last week because we used one on one of our dinosaur cards. But these are the textured notes dies. Lots of rectangles with different designs on the edges, which I think is lots of fun. And so I remembered to bring them in here this week to show you, but we are using one on our second card today. So this card base is a little bit different, but you still get 2 out of 1 sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. It's 4 1/4 by 11, and then I scored on each side at 2 3/4. But the basic idea is you're just folding the sides into the middle like that. So if you aren't scoring, then you can just fold both sides to the middle and you'll get the same effect. Then I have a piece of white for the inside that is 3 3/4 by 5. And we're going to do a little bit of stamping on here. So there's a couple of bee trails in these stamp sets. I'm using the one from Meant to Be. But there's also a bee trail and Be My Valentine, and I think it is fun that they are different. So, like I said, you can mix and match the stamp sets, and I think that is so much fun. We're going to stamp our little bee trail in Pool Party ink, and I'm just going to do one on the bottom and one on the top of my card. And I think I just flipped it just to make it look a little different. And then I thought it would be fun to put the little heart at the end of the trail. And so I'm going to stamp that in Petunia Pop ink. And I just did it right at the end of our little bee trail. Here we go. Isn't that adorable? I love this color combination too that is in this paper. I think it is a nice bright one for spring. The Pool Party, the Petunia Pop, Daffodil Delight, and I think there's Bubble Bath in the paper too. Such fun colors for spring or anytime. All right, so that is the inside of our card. Joan is asking if I know when Garden Green cardstock is back in stock. I believe it is within the next couple of weeks, Joan. I believe you're a demonstrator also. If you look at the inventory status report on our demonstrator website, it tells an estimated week that it will be back in. And I think there is a date there, but I don't remember that one for sure off the top of my head. But that's where you can check and find it. Yeah, I don't know why Garden Green is out. Maybe it's in a lot of our designer series papers right now. I think that's when people tend to buy certain colors of cardstock, is when it coordinates with the designer series papers, but I don't know. I could be wrong. Okay, I have two more pieces of the Cute as Can Be paper here. They both measure 2.5 by 4 inches. And we're going to put the striped one on the top. And our honey jars on the bottom. There we go. All right, and then we are going to do our stamping here. So like I said, we're using some of the textured notes dies. This is one of those rectangles. And then I have a piece of basic black that is 2.5 by 4. And I have to set my card up back here so I can remind myself what I did. Okay, we're going to get out our black ink again. And this time I'm using a sentiment right from the Meant to Be stamp set. Cute as Can Be, I think you could give to a child. You could use for a baby shower or a baby gift. It's just a fun little sentiment. And then we are going to stamp our bee. Now, his wings, so if we take a look at the card, his wings I stamped right on the rectangle, and then the bee is popped up with dimensionals. And this is the smaller bee in the Meant to Be stamp set. So maybe I will just do his wings. And I'm just going to do them up here in the corner at an angle like that. And then we will add the bee after he is die cut. Okay, so I need my Daffodil Delight ink again, because we don't want a black bee body. And like I said, this is the smaller one in the Meant to Be stamp set. There we go. And just like with the larger one, if you want to use a stamp positioning tool, so you can ink and stamp multiple times and get that dark black image, you can do that. Or you can do what I'm going to do and just do it twice and pray it ends up in the same spot. With the photopolymer stamps, it's fairly easy to see and to line it up. That's pretty good. And then I'm using the little smiley face this time. And let's see, I had him going to the side. I almost did it up and down, which wouldn't have been terrible, but we'll make this one go a different direction. Okay, I think that is all my stamping. So let's move that out of the way. And now we're going to die cut this guy. So we'll put him on there. I don't know if you can see that, but he's going to come through the other side here in just a second. Oops, and he's moving on there. I'll move it so you can at least see what I'm doing. Need my washi tape. Do you remember when Stampin' Up! Sold washi tape? Seems like it goes in and out of style. I think we've had it a few different times since I have been a demonstrator. I don't know that I used it too much on my cards, but it's good for holding your dies in place. Okay. Move that out of the way. We've got our B. I will put my die back in there so it does not get lost. Okay. Time to finish assembling. This piece can get layered to your black flat with your seal or your glue. And then the B we will add with some dimensionals. And then these 3 little petunia pop flowers I've cut with the meant to be dies. And we're just going to put those on there. So this bee, I didn't give any antennas. You can add these flowers with glue, but I'm going to put an embellishment in the center. So I'm not really caring if this adhesive shows through a little bit, and I would rather use glue dots than the glue. So we're going to add a few of the flowers. There's actually 6 little flowers in the die set, so you can cut quite a few at one time. And there's like 2 large, 2 medium, and 2 small ones, but I don't know that they're exactly the same. Okay, so there's that. Now when you attach this to your card, it is a fun fold, and you don't want to attach it so that the card doesn't open. So we're only going to put adhesive on the top. And I'm going to use dimensionals. And if you want to double make sure that it is only going on the top part, you can always put the dimensionals straight onto your card too, instead of onto this piece. There we go. All right, I did good. Okay, then we need to add a few of our gems to the centers of the flowers. So I use the larger one for the largest flower, and then I use the smaller ones for the smaller flower. Like that. And then we're going to tie another bow with our ribbon to go at the bottom here. I have a feeling this ribbon might retire because it's been around for a little while. But I will be sad because, you know, we had the more narrow black and white one. And I wasn't super sad when that one retired because we still had this one. But when this one goes, I'll be sad. Till I see the next cute thing that I want to buy, right? The sadness doesn't last for long because there's always cute stuff. Okay, so I just put my ribbon at the bottom here. And there is our second card. Do you like that fun fold? It's a pretty simple one, but it is still cute. All right, we'll tuck that one away. And moving on to our third card. So this one, again, I used a sentiment from the older set, the Be My Valentine set. But the rest of this is from the Meant to Be bundle. All right, so let's get all of our pieces out here. So for this one, I have a thick basic white card base, 5.5 by 8.5, and it will fold that in half. Then I have a piece of the Designer Series paper that is 5 1/4 by 4, and then the Petunia Pop is just 1/8 of an inch bigger, so it is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. And it's going to leave you just a very narrow border with on your white card base. And it's a narrow border here too. So we'll layer those together. Then I'm going to wrap my ribbon around and tie in a bow before I add this to my card. All right. Glad I remembered this step because it's very easy to forget that you need to wrap your ribbon around before you attach it to the card. I know I've done that more than once. But there's ways to improvise. Just do it a different way. All right. Trim this one. All right. Now we can add it to our card base. And I'm just adding it flat. You could use dimensionals if you want. So there we go. All right, now I have 2 hexagons that I cut with the meant to be dies, and I used the 2 smallest hexagons, and I am just using the solid pieces. So let me show you this other card. So on this one, I used the 2 smallest hexagons, but for the second smallest one, I used the outline instead. So each die cuts a hexagon and it cuts the outline. So you can see this is the second largest one. It fits right in there. And you get both pieces every time you die cut, which is kind of cool. For this one, I thought I would layer the 2 together. So I cut one out of the designer series paper and one out of Petunia Pop. It's just fun to have a different shape to use for die cut, I think. All right, we're going to add that over our ribbon with some dimensionals, and this time I am making the flat sides of the hexagon go on the top and the bottom. Remember, on our first card we had the points going up and down, so you can decide which way you want your hexagons to go. All right, so that goes over the ribbon. Arrange that how we want there. All right, then we've got a piece to stamp our bee again, and we're going to use the large bee, just like we did on the first card. So I have my Daffodil Delight ink again. And we'll stamp that large bee body. Then we'll get our black ink and do his stripes and his antenna. And I'm going to see, let's see. Okay, this one I did up and down again. So when I line this up, I look at that point and I try to make sure that's lined up with the edge of this. And then you want to watch the sides too. And it's pretty easy with the photopolymer to line it up. And then for this one, we're going to use the smiley face again, but you can use any of the faces from either stamp set, whichever one you want. And then since he's up and down, we're going to do 2 sets of wings again. So I have my Pool Party ink. And again, you could use black if you want, but I think it's fun to do the Pool Party because that is the color of his wings in the designer series paper. Oh, and then I should do my sentiment while I have my ink out. We'll get the black back out. This little die cut is from our Countryside Corners dies, and it fits the sentiment perfectly. And the sentiment is from the older Be My Valentine set. I love you no matter what. But you could fit any little sentiment in here that you want. Okay. Now we've got to do our die cutting again. Get all of these bee pieces cut out. So we will see if I can get all 3 to go through at once again without moving. And here on the antennas, you want to make sure that they're kind of lined up at the top, and then you can see both of the little pieces at the end there peeking through. And then this one, you just want to see that they're kind of at the edge of the top right there. All right, let's see what I did with the other piece of my machine. There we go. All right, see if we can get them through here. While I put them through, I'm thinking in my head, please don't move, please don't move. Okay, I think we did pretty good, and then we'll just send the second set of wings through. Get all those pieces. Our second set of wings here. All right. Let's see, last Wednesday when I was here, I was getting ready to go to my daughter's basketball game. I am happy to say that they won their game last Wednesday. The team they played, the boys were, so she plays co-ed, so they have to play boys teams, unless there's another co-ed team, which there isn't really many of them. So mostly they're playing boys teams, and she got into the game and she knocked knees with somebody, like after being in the game for a minute. And so she was limping around pretty good, but she was okay. She just needed to walk it off and stretch it out. And then she went back in and had a good game. But it's like, oh no. That is one of her fears, is getting hurt playing against the boys. All right. Oh, there's my antennas. So we're going to do the same thing and use the glue to put them together. So some of you know my daughter joined the basketball team in the middle of the season. So this weekend they have a tournament, and that is the end of their season already. They didn't have any other games this week, so that's kind of nice for us. It's not quite as busy. She still has practice this week, though, a couple days after school. And I don't know if any of you are churchgoers, but it's Ash Wednesday, and our church has services tonight and every Wednesday during Lent. It's kind of nice they do a dinner, so I don't have to make dinner on Wednesdays for the next 6 weeks, which is awesome. But we always bring a dessert to share, so I just have to make desserts for the next 6 Wednesdays, which is kind of nice. So that is my week, and then, like I said, my in-laws are coming next week, so I am busy trying to clean and get ready for them. I feel like my house is never as clean as I want it to be when they visit, so hopefully this time it will be cleaner than it usually is. That is my hope, but there is a lot to get done between now and then. All right, we're going to put this bee at a little bit of an angle here. And then the sentiment is going to kind of slide up in here. So I'm going to put a dimensional on this side, and then we will put some Stampin' Seal on the rest of it so that it's like at the same level as the rest, if that makes sense. So this part's already popped up with dimensionals, so it's going to lay flat on there, and we'll put the dimensional on that side. Okay, all that's left is to add our gems here. So I added a little one on here, and then we'll just sprinkle some all over the card. Oops. I really think these do take on the purple in that petunia pop, and they're just really pretty. So these are the iridescent faceted gems if you are wanting to add some to your stash. So there is our third card. I don't know, they are all cute this week, but I'm going to make you vote in the comments. So let's bring all 3 cards back in, and you take a vote in the comments and tell me which one you like the best. I know it is super hard to pick this week because they are all cute. I don't know if I can pick, but I'm going to make you. So tell me in the comments which one you like the best. All right, remember that you can get this card kit for free with your order when you shop with me now through Tuesday, March 11th. Spend more than $40 before tax and shipping to get the card kit. And then if you spend over $50, I will send you double the cards so you can make 2 of each. There is a shopping link in the description. I will also put a link to join my email list. If you are not already on my email list, you'll want to join because that is where you get the most up-to-date information. You'll get all of these videos that I do every week sent straight to your inbox so you don't miss one. information about my classes, and that way it doesn't just pass you by on social media and you forget about it. I also send a free card tutorial every Monday, which is a lot of fun. And I hope you will join me over there so that you don't miss a thing and we can stay connected. I will let you know if I get videos recorded for the next 2 weeks. If not, you can still come here for daily crafty inspiration. And I will be sharing sneak peeks of both my card clubs for this month very soon too, as soon as I finish designing them. So you can stay tuned for that. Thank you for joining me today, and I will see you again soon. Bye.